Hello and welcome everybody to the Twins Off Daily Podcast. Episode number 3 of our All-Star Podnanza, I believe. I'm your host, Sweet Lou Hennessy, back at it again with my dear friends, Greg and Cody. Let's start with Greg. How you doing, buddy?
I'm doing terrific. Day 3, it feels like we've just begun and it's almost over already.
We're almost there, baby. Home stretch. Cody, you are down at the bottom of the screen. How are you, Cody Schoenman?
Did you play the intro music?
Yes, this has happened. When I've called in, I could not hear the music. Yes, we did play the music.
Okay, yeah,
Cody thought that we were just hanging out.
Yeah, I'm on my phone. I'm pulling a Alex Jones right now. I have neither hand on the wheel. I'm driving my car. I'm going very fast. So hopefully this goes well. Hopefully this goes well.
You are not shouting enough. I've always said, Cody, you don't shout enough.
Yeah. I never shout. I'm not like Greg.
Oh, yeah.
Have I ever shouted on the podcast?
Oh, yes. I mean, hey, I just listened to the clip show that we put out for episode 50, and I heard a few shouts.
This is disinformation, folks.
When was that? When did you yell, gosh damn it? When was that?
I think it was right before the 13-game win streak where Lou was reading off how the Twins were literally the worst team in baseball history.
Yeah, basically. Oh, man. That clip show was a lot of fun. I hope everybody got a chance to listen to that. Greg put some good work into it, and there's a lot of laughs in it. I had a great ride home going down memory lane there. How about this? Let's talk about our walk-off question that we will try to answer at the end of today's episode. I saw the lineup for that Celebrity All-Star softball game that they do as part of the festivities. And the lineup, I don't think I'm that old. I'm pretty tuned into a lot of pop culture things. I knew like maybe 3 of the names on it and a lot of just really obscure names. And I was like, man, where has my country gone? So the question today is,
Lou, I think you're just too old.
Look who's talking, dude. I'm not. I'm the second youngest on this podcast, I think.
Hold on. Sorry. So the graphic that they showed originally where everybody's like, I don't know any of these people. I don't know. I'm looking at the roster right now, and I know a lot of these people. Wow. I feel like they put out a fake lineup filled with people. Because I mean, like Big Boy was on it, obviously.
Yeah.
Okay. I didn't see that. I would have loved that.
I'm seeing Quavo, Jenny Finch, T.O., Cece Sabathia.
Yep.
Who?
Drewski. I know Drewski. Talking Jake.
Yeah.
Capital One Bank guy. I know some of these names.
You mentioned Big Boy. That's like, imagine Andre 3000 playing a celebrity softball game.
That'd be awesome. Get him back together.
Like a Peter Pan outfit. Like
that'd be great. Anyway, the walk-off question.
That'd be funny
today,
if it was Big Boy's team versus Andre's team.
Ooh, that'd be tricky.
Little speaker box, the Love Below action.
Yeah.
So how about this? For the walk-off question, this might be part of your answer, so hold on to that to the end of the episode. Which celebrity would you want to see in the Celebrity All-Star game? Plenty of fun ones to go. So we will come up with some answers by the end of today's episode. But for our beginning topic for today, yes, in the last episode of the Podnanza, we did kind of a recap or like reflection of the first half. This episode, we're going to look ahead to the second half, and we have a few guided questions that will I'll try to get some info out of Cody and Greg here. I don't know, boys. I think we're in for quite a ride, at least for the next couple of weeks. It could get very quiet after that, but I just based on how this team looked heading into the All-Star break, I think we're in for some fun. I don't know. First and foremost, I want to know, who are your X factors for the second half here that are kind of make or break their season. Let's start with you, Cody. Who do you think is going to be an X factor for the second half?
We kind of touched on this the last episode, but it really is going to be the core 3 guys, maybe the core 4 guys if you want to add Wallner into it. But I mean, Buxton, Correa, and Lewis are going to, kind of be the main guys who are going to propel this team to the playoffs or not. I mean, we spend a lot of time and, a lot of baseball analysis podcasts and written stuff, spends a lot of time writing and talking about guys in the fringes, guys like Christian Vasquez or Harrison Bader and stuff like that. But, teams really are driven by their top players, obviously. But, Correa had a down first half. I think he has like a 92 WRC plus right now, like 1 F WAR. Lewis is like 30% below league average. Obviously, Buxton's been incredible. Wallner is, I think, hovering around league average. His power is still there, obviously, but he can't hit high fastballs. So, having Wallner make adjustments like he did last year. Obviously, we can't demote him to St. Paul this year. That's not going to happen. But if he can make in-season adjustments, hit the ball hard again, be the guy who can hover around at 850 OPS, that would be great for their second half. Have Lewis show just like some semblance of the above average player he used to be. We're not expecting, like playoff magic Lewis, but just something that could be a little bit above league average would be great. Have Buxton, maybe Buxton can't mimic what he's done the first half, like exactly, but be close to that. And then have Correa be, a above average form of himself. The guy, maybe not the person who was, incredible last year to begin last year, but maybe when it's like his first year with the Twins, when he had a really hot second half and he got around 5 WAR. So yeah, those core 4 guys are going to play a huge role whether the Twins make the playoffs or not.
Lou, you're muted.
You're muted,
Lou. Lou.
I was doing a mime, actually. I was not actually saying anything. No, I was just going to say is that too much to ask for? Just having 4-star players playing at MVP caliber levels.
Not even MVP, just like not even MVP, like just their priors. Like have your guys perform to their priors. That's not happening right now. Besides Buxton.
Yeah, no,
or just merely good.
Yeah,
like that's one of it's one thing if you've got a string of guys in Lewis. And don't get me wrong, I've never been the highest person on Royce Lewis, but you've got Lewis, you've got Correa, you've got Wallner. And, they all had kind of lofty expectations coming into the year. They have high ceilings, all that. But it would be different if they were just merely like okay or good. I think that Wallner is bordering on okay. Except that he's an adventure out in right field right now. But like at the plate, like on the season, I mean, you guys keep trying to tell me that Carlos Correa is having a good year at the plate, and I don't know why you keep spreading these lies.
It hasn't been bad.
He's trending in the right direction.
Yeah.
But, if they were merely like okay to good instead of like the great that a lot of people were hoping for, gosh dang it, this team would be in a much different place. It's a completely different story when not only are they not good, they're not okay, they've just been bad at the plate.
I think you wrote about this, Greg, at Twins Daily, like Bader's doing what he's supposed to do. Larnach's doing what he's supposed to do against right-handed pitching. Jeffers is, doing what he's supposed to do, what he was expected to be. Lee is providing value even though he can't hit for long stretches. But, like, the auxiliary guys are performing well. It's just need your stars or expected stars to step up beyond Buxton.
Yeah, I think that's fair. Greg, sorry, go ahead.
No, I was the other thing I wanted – without looking, I don't know if you guys have it off the top of your head. Do you guys know how many home runs Royce Lewis has this year in 153 plate appearances?
2.
Man, he's on pace for 8 home runs in a 600 plate appearance sample. That's tough, man. But
he has some deep
I don't know.
doubles,
There's reason to believe that he can have a good second half and turn this around. But yeah,
Greg,
it's hard.
Greg, who's your X factor, Greg?
I would say Lou, my X factor, Lou. If I could just like take a bunch of them like Cody did, I would say that Pablo Lopez and Bailey Ober coming back from injury are going to be enormous X factors. If they can produce, even, resembling what their expectations are, that helps the rotation out a ton, even though the rotation isn't exactly struggling right now. But yeah, if you can get those 2 guys back healthy, you're not, white knuckling through Travis Adams starts, or, it's possible that you might be white knuckling through Zebby Matthews and David Festa and Simeon Woods Richardson starts too. If you can have a little bit more stability in this rotation, which has like over the last month been just fine. And for the 2 months before it. But I think that those two are probably the big ones that you're looking for on the pitching side.
Yeah, Greg, I was going to ask, would you lump Zebby into into Ober and Lopez as reinforcements, or do you view them as like, maybe not a reinforcement? Like, could he go back to AAA maybe?
I mean, I think that it depends. So when I'm saying like an X factor, it's more of like hey, this team is going to go as far as these guys go type of thing. Whereas I think Zebby Matthews could be a difference maker in the second half. I think that he could be a reinforcement. I think that, he's hopefully going to be bumping Travis Adams out of the rotation like day one out of the break. There might be like, they might have him like pitch the 5th day out of the break and keep Adams in the rotation or in the bullpen basically in case they need a long man. But I would expect from everything that we've heard that Zebby Matthews is going to be back very soon. I don't think that I would call it an X factor, but I also think that he is one of several wild cards, if we want to use another trope, cliche, whatever. That like, hey man, if a couple of these wild cards hit, like Festa, like Matthews, if Cody Clemens keeps swinging it well, if
Luke Keishel comes up and,
yeah. No, because I was just thinking about organizational depth chart. And last time Zebby was healthy, he appeared to be above Festa and Sim on the organizational depth chart. So I wonder like how that will shake out. If he replaces Adams, but then Ober and Lopez come back, this is going to kind of depend on who's performing well at the time. I'm guessing probably, right?
I would say probably, yeah.
Yeah, the two pitchers you brought up, Ober and Lopez, are who I had down to. Mostly just thinking about the second half of last year and the collapse. They did not have like two good starting pitchers that could act as kind of like stoppers when things were going poorly, and things went very poorly in August and September. So I think it's going to be important to have not just Joe Ryan performing to his, first half standards, but then also having one, if not both of those guys really step up and be, Pablo was good when he was healthy, but Ober obviously just had a lot going on leading up to his IL stint. So, I don't know. I think it's going to be those two are the biggest X factors in my eyes as well. How about this for our next question? We're not looking at X factor. Who's your Greg's factor? Who is a player that is going to bring the most chaos to the field and to the picture here? Maybe that's somebody that's untraditional. Maybe that's a big dude who dings dongs, as Greg loves to laud on every single episode. Greg, let's start with you. Who's your Greg's factor for the second?
My Greg's factor. Half? This is a tough one. I mean, it sort of leads into the conversation that we just had about like the difference between an X factor and a wild card. Like honestly, if we're talking about like just pure chaos, like I have no idea what's going to happen with this dude. Luke Keishel is that guy. Where it's like he has that Greg's factor out on the field. Like he is like moving chaos on the field, but also like from a big picture perspective, there are so many question marks. Like obviously he's not gonna. I can't remember what his slash line is right now in his like 25 plate appearances. He's not going to be that guy naturally, but if he can be an effective bat to ball guy, he can drive the ball a little bit. He can play potentially second, first. I don't know if he can play left field right now. Like there are so many questions about like, okay, even when he is back up, is he just a DH? He worked in at first base a little bit last season, and it's like, okay, how legit is his first base glove? We talked yesterday about the adventure that is watching Cody Clemens over there right now. So I think I would say that. I also shout out to Aaron Sabato would be that's a fun name that I'm going to be watching. I don't know, like if I were to guess, I don't think that he makes the big leagues, but when you're looking at the Twins depth chart, you're like, okay, what the heck is going on over at first base? Did you know that on Fangraphs, their depth chart, their roster resource, they have officially moved Ty France to the bench? He is now he is a platoon first baseman labeled in their depth chart with Cody Clemens as your go-to first baseman. They've also got Christian Vasquez as a platoon bat. He's got the right-handed platoon designation because they always have him catch against lefties. With Jeffers at the DH. But anyway, that was my
Greg,
reading.
Gun to your head, is Ty France on the Twins 26-man roster on August 1st?
August 1st, no. I think that if I were to guess the most likely, I would say Ty France is a Twin until July 31st. Is the 31st the deadline this year? Yes?
Yeah, I think so.
Okay. So I would assume I think that they're going to keep him on the roster until July 31st, even if they 100% plan on either cutting him or trading him for cash or whatever they end up doing, because they probably are going to want to hold all the depth so that they can have maximum flexibility. Like maybe they go get a left-handed first baseman who can't hit versus righties whatsoever, and so they just got to have that righty first baseman. I would say August 1st, no. July 31st, yes.
Okay, that's interesting. That's a good call. You know what? On-air production meeting that Thursday, when the trade deadline is, I think it's Thursday, July 31st.
Yes.
The Twins are off that day. On-air production meeting. What if we did a live show like right at the deadline, like the hour of the deadline? That could be pretty exciting. I don't know. Well, that could be an option.
I mean, the Twins have been so exciting at the deadline the last few years. I'm sure that we would have so much to talk about.
All right. Another bit that I super loved that Cespedes Family Barbecue, those guys did. They had one of them completely unplug for 24 hours leading up to the trade deadline, and then he didn't go on trade rumors. He stayed off Twitter, stayed off the internet, did not want to hear any trades that were happening. And then live on an episode, he got recap on all the 25 plus trades that happened a couple years ago. I thought that was fun. That could be a good segment for us. We'll talk. Cody, who's your Greg's factor?
Mine was going to be Aaron Sabato.
Hey, gas up Aaron Sabato live on tape. I want to hear it.
Sorry, what?
Gas up Aaron Sabato live on tape.
Oh, yeah.
I want to hear it.
Ever since he was picked up at the airport and driven back to the stadium, this organization's never been the same. Aaron Sabato, he's just been a dynamic talent who's finally reaching his ceiling. He's what, like 27 now?
He's 26.
He's 26. There's a lot to look forward to. He could still have like a 15-year career. There's a bright future ahead. No, I mean, I actually kind of disagree with you on France. I think he will be on the roster the rest of the year. I don't think there's really any value for him on the trade market, and he doesn't really seem like a guy the Twins would just dump. I wrote about this at Twins Daily, but since July 1st, before the All-Star break, Ty France started 7 games at first, and Clemens started 6. So there was a 1-game difference between the two. And if you're looking at a platoon at the position, teams are going to primarily face right-handed pitching. So naturally, that would give Clemens most of the opportunities. But, he still has versatility. And obviously, the Twins love that. He can play second. He can play the corner outfield. So whether it's like injury or performance issues, I'm sure something will force Clemens off first and have him play a position higher on the defensive spectrum. So, I mean, right now it makes sense to have Clemens be the primary first baseman, but I think the Twins will ultimately keep France around as, essentially the backup first baseman. But, there's still a value in that. But I really think Rocco and the team prefers Clemens at first base right now.
I will push back on that a little bit. Just here's my thought process on that. It is really hard to justify carrying in a roster spot a short side of a platoon first base only guy.
Yeah, they've had first all year though.
They do, but I think that there's an argument that there is more utility in Kersey on the roster than just a run-of-the-mill first base only. I don't know if I believe it, but I think that there's a decent argument to be made. Once you get Luke Keeschel back, that could be your first base platoon guy. He plays first base against lefties, Clemens against righties. Even if there's not a Clemens in the picture, you might still have. Has Edward Julian been playing any first base down in St. Paul?
Yeah, he has.
I mean, that's another option there. Obviously, you'd probably also want to shield him from lefties. I don't know, man. I feel like once we get to August 1st, there is going to be a roster in place that it's like, I don't know what the point of having Ty France around to play 50% of games at first base is.
I mean, if you trade Castro, that kind of just takes Clemens off first, though, right? More or less.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Yeah.
Then you keep France.
I could see. Yeah. It depends, what you do at the deadline.
Yeah. You know what? That leads us perfectly into our next question. I want to hear from each of you. What's your expectation, or what do you think is going to happen at the trade deadline? Give me just some sort of prediction of what direction you see them going. Not all the different options of what could happen, but what your heart is telling you they're going to do at this deadline. Let's start with you, Cody. What's your prediction for the trade deadline for the Twins?
I think it'll be functionally similar to 2023 and last year, meaning they'll keep Bader, Castro, Vasquez.
Hey, Cody, could you move your phone around a little bit less?
Sorry, yeah, my bad.
You're good.
Is it fine now?
Yeah, you're good.
Okay, sorry. Okay, restart. I think it'll be basically the same as 2023 and 2024, where they really don't buy or sell. So I think the most impactful, outcome of that means that Bader will stay a Twin. I think Castro will stay a Twin. Joe Ryan, I know there's trade speculation with him, but I think he's going to stay too. So I think we're going to functionally have the same team. I don't really see a reason to buy or to trade for a bullpen arm like Trevor Richards. So I don't even know if that would happen. So I honestly think we might just have the same exact 26-man roster come August 1st. That's where I'm leaning right now.
What are you talking about? The Twins didn't buy in 2024. Does Trevor Richards mean nothing to you?
Yeah, I mean, in 23,
Dylan Floro.
Yeah, well, they technically flipped Lopez for Floro, so that was a trade, but it happened a month before the deadline. So, yeah, I'm sorry, but I'm really one of those guys. I think nothing's going to happen at the deadline. But, I think keeping Bader and Castro will prove to be a good thing, even though we're going to lose them in the offseason. Yeah,
no, that's that might prove to be the case. Greg, how about you? What's your prediction for the trade deadline?
Unfortunately, we're in a position right now where the Twins are. It's hard to say because they are on the cusp of competing, which is not a great spot to be in when you're trying to make predictions. I mean, it's possible. I don't know. They win 2 of 3 against Colorado out of the break, and then they drop all 3 against Los Angeles. All of a sudden, you're 4 games below 500 again. You've got a week till the break. I don't know, man. If I gun to my head, I would say that they're not going to do anything. If they are out of the race, I think it's going to be a full-on fire sale. If they've determined that there isn't, or not a full-on fire sale, but I think that everything that's not nailed down is going to be, and by nailed down, I mean, controllable for future years. We've seen that in the last 2 times that the Twins sold, in 18 and 21. If you could get anything for players, you were going to do it, including when they flipped J Happ for John Gant.
Yeah.
And was it Steven Cruz or
Evan Sisk,
who they paired up with Steven Cruz to get flipped for Michael
Taylor.
They were, if they could have gotten something for Andrelton Simmons, I think they would have done that. I don't think that they got any offers. Michael Pineda, I think they held on because they just needed to have a rotation. I don't think that they were impressed. But I don't know, man. I don't know. I don't have a good prediction. I wish that I did.
Well, coming out of the break, it'll be Colorado, the Dodgers, and then Washington before the deadline. Correct, I think. And those are, you could realistically sweep one of Colorado or Washington, and then you hope to win 1 game in the 3 games against the Dodgers. But if you win 2 series and then you take 1 from Los Angeles, hopefully, or if you're able to sweep Colorado or Washington, then I think you're at 500 perfectly come the deadline. So it doesn't really change the situation much from where they are right now.
Pretty juicy. I don't know.
Yeah.
I like Greg, like you were saying, the Twins are kind of like at a tipping point. It seems like kind of right now, these next few weeks are going to be pretty consequential one way or another, I think. My gut says that they do like a soft sell on maybe one of somebody like Willie Castro or Harrison Bader. I think probably more likely Castro at that point. But, flipping him to an interested contending team who maybe wants him for, a utility or bench role, some speed, some versatility. But then I could also see them going out and making a minor trade too at the same time, trying to bring in a first baseman / DH slugger, whether that's somebody super good like Ryan O'Hearn, whether that's somebody who's not that good like Josh Bell. It's something
it would be
an
very
expiring
fun.
Contract.
An expiring first baseman who's not very good. I mean, that would probably be the Dylan Floro and the Trevor Richards of 2025 because they don't have room in the bullpen for a Trevor Richards or a Dylan Floro. And if you look at their roster, like the big hole is at first base. It would be very funny if they like got Josh Bell, but they didn't pay any of his contract. Like all of his money was retained.
For what it's worth, Josh Bell, every time he's traded, it seems like he goes and he's like, except from San Diego, I guess. But when he went to Miami, he was like incredible once he got traded there. There's another instance I thought last year where he got swapped and had a great second half. That's my gut feeling, I guess.
Arizona, he was very good in Arizona last year.
That was it. Yeah. Well, maybe there's somebody like that. Somebody who just is a flash in the pan reinforcement. A Brian Fuentes type, some might say. I think that's kind of maybe what they're in line for here. But watch them go out and make some waves. That'd be fun too.
Yeah,
it would be fun to see like a full scramble a little bit.
Yeah,
and I wouldn't put it past this front office to try that, where you've got like 3 or 4 moving parts, like over the course of 3 different trades or something like that. You're kind of swapping pieces in and out.
A scramble sounds so much more interesting and appetizing than a full-on like reboot or retool or whatever you want to call it. You know what I mean? Maybe I'm just thinking about scrambled eggs.
I don't think that they're going to, like, even if they are out of playoff contention, it's hard for me to see them like full on trying to do that reboot, rebuild, whatever right now. Even if you take away the looming threat of new ownership and nobody knows what next year is going to be like, yada, yada, that might, I guess, encourage them to be a little bit more aggressive. I can't see like a full on teardown or like the moving of like more than 1 or maybe 2. Like I could see, shipping off all of the 1-year guys and Yohan Duran. But that's about as far as I can possibly see this going in terms of like tearing everything down. Yeah,
that's probably fair. Scramble is such a good way to put it. That would be kind of interesting. And because it wouldn't necessarily mean like why would the front office tuck you know what I mean? Like if there's so much uncertainty there, why would they tuck themselves into bed like that? You know what I mean? Like, okay, we're going to get rid of everything good. And now it's going to be that much easier for them to get axed. I don't know. Maybe that's going too far. I don't know. How about this? What do you guys think is going to be, we can come back to this at the end of the season, at the All-Star break right now. What do you think the final record is going to be for these Minnesota Twins? And what place do you see them being in, whether that's like the AL standings or a playoff position, stuff like that? Greg, let's start with you this time. What do you think their final record is going to be?
I think, if I had to put money on it, I would say 83-79, and they would finish 2 games out of the last wild card.
Ouch. Heartbreaker. That's that kind of like the 2015 season. I want to say it was kind of similar like that, where they're in the race until the last week or so, the last weekend, and then they fell out. Yeah, that would be. I mean, that was a fun season too. So I'd be into that. Oh my God, I'm just thinking about it. There's been a lot of parallels to that season. 10 years later, rhymes, baby. Cody, what do you think? What's the record?
It's like poetry.
Yeah, life goes in cycles. I'm going to go 87-75.
Whoa!
Third wild card spot. And they are playing the Astros in Houston.
Dude, that is some optimism.
Yep.
Wow.
After not selling at the deadline, very similar to 2023.
Okay.
No, they will sell at the deadline. I keep saying this, but I could see a future where they sell at the deadline and have a better second half.
The Tigers did it just last year.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah,
I think that there are enough wild cards on this team that, like, obviously if you sell off and you get rid of Bader and you get rid of Castro and you get rid of Coulomb, there's not like an easy, obvious like fill-in for those guys. Like, there's not a 1-to-1 match. However, I feel like there's been so much variation or variance in the Twins' performance this year that they could absolutely string off like a 20-10 run, and all of a sudden they're back in it.
Yeah. No.
Trade Bader and call up Jenkins.
Hear me out. I've got this guy who I adore. He's a good dude. As far as I know, I don't know, who shows up in my mentions to tell me like what the Twins pace has to be for the rest of the season. To like,
does he write for
Seattle.
Twins Daily?
No.
Okay.
Michael St. John. Shout out to that guy. He's the Deadhead on Twitter.
Oh, okay.
I think it's
Rocco.
So,
Rocco's burner.
but he'll comment like, if the Twins are going to catch them, they have to play at a 103 win pace. But we're getting to the part of the season where pace doesn't really matter anymore.
Yeah.
You got 60 games. Like, if you just go 40-22 or whatever, it's not like you're playing at 100 win pace. You're just having a good 60 games.
That's a good point. I think that's a fair point. Okay, what else do we want to do here? We did our trade deadline prediction. We did our record and our place prediction. Cody, you see them going to the playoffs, playing the Astros.
Wait, what about you, Lou? What's your prediction?
I predict that they're going to get rid of, like I said, Willie Castro and maybe somebody like Chris Paddock. I don't know.
Could be. Yeah. Yeah. Who does he play for right now? Is he still a Padre? I can't remember what.
Wouldn't that be incredible if, like, during the span of the All-Star break, our Is Chris Paddock Still a Twin game actually did get flipped, so it's important for us to play it every game, every day. But it's time for everybody's favorite segment, Is Chris Paddock Still a Twin? And as of July 15th, Chris Paddock is still a twin.
Still a twin. Anyway, like I said, I could see them clearing some room for maybe some younger up-and-coming guys, and then maybe that propels them to a better record. Maybe that they kind of go on a little bit of a run there. As far as final record goes, before I heard you guys, I thought I was going to be the optimistic one at 85 and 77, but now I just feel like we're a bunch of homers at this point. I'll still go with it just because I wrote it down. Write that down. You like writing things down.
Type this up.
We got to do that again. We got to do another round of that. Okay, cool. Well, it
loves pie.
It sounds like we're in for quite a ride in this second half. So we'll just have to see. Maybe we'll come back and we'll revisit some of these predictions. But for right now, why don't we go on down? We'll do an edition of.
Can we have a really quick conversation about Sunday's game?
Yeah.
I don't know if there's ever been like a 6-3 stretch that I've ever been more disappointed in. Am I like outrageous, or am I out of bounds on this? That losing that game to the Pirates was like the most deflating series win I've ever encountered. I don't understand it.
I wanted them to get to 500 so bad before the break.
I know it would have been a lot of fun, and it's not like we were asking for that much. A pretty brutal Pirates team. Mitch Keller is good. I think he's a pretty good pitcher. Mm-hmm. Still, I think
especially
you should be able to scratch off a couple of runs against them. And
that was because, and obviously they cared about that too. I think that it's impossible to say like how big of a difference that makes in your headspace sitting through the break as a game or as a team 2 games below 500 versus a team at 500. Like you're able to talk yourself into a lot of things at 500 that you are not able to do when you're at 2 games below. And then you're looking at the end of the break and you've got the Rockies. And it's like, oh man, if I'm on a 500 team and I'm seeing like I'm going to rest up and I'm going to go to Denver for 3 games with the Rockies, like I'm drooling. I'm saying like we could come out of here 3 games above 500. We could, be sitting 2 back, 1 back in the wild card standings with the rest of the season to go, with 63 games to go. And instead it's like if we sweep the Rockies, we'll be 1 game above 500. If we lose 1 game to the Rockies, we're going to still be below 500. Like that that last game was so big.
It was. And maybe it had something, I feel like the fact that the Pirates were on such a terrible losing streak leading up to that game affected their effort level a little bit, because I think teams try the absolute least when they're the away team and they're about to either sweep or get swept. You know what I mean? I feel like that's getaway day in that situation. You see some kind of maybe bench players getting a start there. But because they were on such a terrible losing streak heading into the break, I think they're like, okay, we gotta nail this one down.
That would feel real bad. Like what would they have been, 9 games in a row that they'd lost and they have to sit in that for 4 days?
Sit in it. Yeah. With their 1 All-Star.
It's been full bore. Dennis Santana, another former Twin for like 2 weeks. Another guy who developed into a great reliever like Jeff Hoffman and like many other people, which is just very interesting at this point.
Curious.
Yeah, Colorado out of the break. Who would want to go to Denver, right?
Hey, if anybody is around this weekend, find Ol Gregg at Coors Field.
Oh, any preview on what jersey you'll wear?
Okay, so I think I'm going to both the Friday and Saturday game. I will not be at the Sunday game. I will be needing to get on the road. So I think on Friday I will be in my Jeff Fry Rockies vest. I already wore it to a game this year, to a Rockies game. I was visiting family.
Did you get some dirty looks?
I don't know, man. It was kind of an empty. It was the game the Rockies walked off on a random Thursday afternoon for their 11th or 13th win. So I try not to repeat jerseys, but that one's such a killer that I need to see some people I potentially know in that.
Yeah.
Jersey. And then day 2, I think I'll probably do the Matthew LeCroy Gray Road 2000s jersey.
Oh, beautiful.
Never worn that one before, so I'm excited to break that one out.
Oh, that's great. I texted this to Greg Cody yesterday after the Twins made a trade. Greg, I think your next jersey you should get for the name on the back just cash considerations and with a big money symbol for the number. I think that would be a awesome jersey for you to own. But
that would be fun. I did not actually see that message from you, so thank you for saying it out loud.
You got to wear your Manny Magoo jersey in public. Like,
I don't know. I feel like that's a tough one because it feels a little bit like bullying, especially because Manny Magoo is just out of the league now.
Yeah,
that might have been a one-night thing for the Winter Meltdown.
Plus, then you'd have to disassemble the shadow box that you made for it, and it's in your, on your mantle.
I'd also have to wear those godless City Connect jerseys again. That goes against my morals.
All right, here, how about this? Let's move on over. Let's go down to our next segment here. We got a fun game to play for this edition of The Closer. Okay, Greg actually produced this edition of The Closer, and it is going to be a round of Stump the Shone. Let's see. Sean, you wanna explain how this goes just real briefly? I think everybody knows how it goes, but for those who might be joining for the first time.
Yeah, so are you in charge this time, Lou? Or is it
Greg in charge?
Okay, sorry. Yeah, so Greg is in charge. He has a category of question, like, for example, he could be like, who has hit a home run for the Twins in 2025? And then Lou and I would have to guess, and then we get 3 strikes, and the last person to not have reached the 3rd strike wins. So I am the Shone, and I'm trying to be stumped by Gregory.
Nice. Okay, so this is a short one, but it's a little bit of this is going back to 2000, so we might need Lou to come in and save Cody on a couple of these. I do have hints, don't worry. So there have been 9 players since the year 2000s to suit up for the Twins over the age of 40.
Okay.
9 40-plus-year-olds.
All right.
We'll see how far we can get into this list. I've got a second slide that has the years that they played and as well as their positions. So hopefully
40.
Hopefully we're good.
Goodness, 40.
Yeah, 40 years old. There have been 9 of them in the last 25 years of Twins baseball.
Okay.
All right. Cody, let's start with you.
Rich Hill.
Rich Hill. Yep. We've got Rich Hill.
I'm still writing my list here. I'm going to go with Nelson Cruz.
Nelson Cruz. We do have Nelson Cruz. And I think you guys can probably hear my cats in the background, and I apologize for that.
Bartolo Colon.
Bartolo Colon.
40.
I guess it's feeding time for the cats.
Must be. I'm really doing a deep dive here. Terry Mulholland.
Terry Mulholland, yeah. Number 7. This is in chronological order, if that gives you any hints.
Okay.
Presented on the board.
Can I ask a question?
Yeah.
Has there been a guy since Cruiser? It's chronological order. So
nope.
Okay.
The most recent was Nelson Cruz.
Okay.
In 2021.
Okay, Matt Belisle.
Matt Belisle, no, he was not 40 plus.
All right.
That's one strike for Cody.
I feel like he was like 38.
I don't know if this guy was old or just looked super old. Henry Blanco.
Henry Blanco, no, I believe he was like in his like early 30s when he played for the Twins. I'm gonna look that up really quick.
I'm worried. I'm worried you're gonna be like, oh, he was 27 years old when he was with the Twins.
He was. He played for the Twins in his age 32 season.
Ah, jeez, he looked
he
old.
Did play. He did play till his age 41 season in 2013, but. Okay.
40 years old.
Here, let me flip over. Let's give you guys some hints on positions.
Oh.
So we're missing 2 relief pitchers, 2 DHs, and a catcher. Cody.
Ryan Domet.
No, there was not a Ryan Domet. There is one enormous name on this list. There's one player that was in between Rich Hill and Bartolo Colon that's a significant name as well.
Yeah, so
there's a recurring character on this podcast on this list. The last 2, one's a Gregg favorite, and one I don't remember really anything about him.
Oh, this is hard.
What have we got?
This is a hard one. Relief
Here,
pitcher.
Let me flip over.
Relief pitcher.
What if I added years?
Okay.
So we've got a relief pitcher in 2018, a DH in 2011, a DH in 2006, a catcher in 2004, and a relief pitcher in 2003.
DH 2011, DH 2006. Goodness.
Here is a first ballot Hall of Famer on this list.
Ballot Hall of Famer. Oh, I got Jim Thome.
Jim Thome. There we go.
2018 relief pitcher. I'm Ryan Harper. I don't know.
Proven closer.
Oh, Fernando Rodney.
Fernando Rodney. There we go.
Nice.
2018 reliever.
I loved when he was on the Twins. He was so fun for that half a season.
If we're going chronologically, in 2006 DH, he is a recurring bit on this show.
Ruben Sierra.
Ruben Sierra, a man that Cody has no recollection of
Never
whatsoever and has to be explained every time he comes up. 2004 catcher. It wasn't Henry Blanco. He and Terry Mulholland go hand in hand.
Terry Steinbeck?
No, that's a little bit too old.
Yeah, it's too old. Reliever 2003.
Sidney Poncone? No.
Cody's just naming pitchers from the 2000s he's heard of.
I think I'm tapping out. I think I'm cashed.
So we've got Jesse Orozco in 2003.
Okay. I've heard of him, I think.
And then the last one, he and Terry Mulholland actually combined, I believe, to make the oldest battery in the history of baseball. I mean, it might be second to Satchel Paige and whoever caught Satchel Paige when he was 60, but it is Pat Borders.
Oh, sure.
Well, while the Twins were scrambling to figure out what to do about not having Joe Mauer in 2004, Pat Borders got, I don't know, like 30 games or something like that. Pat Borders, the MVP of the 1990 World Series.
Unbelievable. Wow, that's a blast from the past. I was almost going to guess R.A. Dickey, but when he was with the Twins, I think he was still in like his mid-30s at that point.
Yeah, I think Dickey pitched forever because he's a knuckleballer.
Right.
I think he was 40 in Toronto. I don't know if he was 40 in New York.
He got to 42 in Atlanta. He was in his mid-30s in New York. When he was in Minnesota, he was 34.
He pitched for Atlanta?
Yep.
After Toronto?
He not only pitched for Atlanta, he started 31 games through 190 innings, had a 2.2 baseball reference WAR for a 4.26 ERA.
The Twins would absolutely take that at this trade deadline. Go out.
I mean, honestly, like I'm not like up to date on the R.A. Dickey lore, but like, why didn't he get a job the next year as a 43-year-old?
What year was that? Was that 2019?
17.
Oh, yeah, I have no recollection of him being a Brave. Wow, okay.
It's wild.
Yeah, he pitched, I think he started hold on. He started a total of, holy cow, 93 games after from the beginning of his age 40 year in Toronto.
I love that the Braves went from having 43-year-old R.A. Dickey to they leveled up and got 40-year-old Bartolo Colon the next year.
Well, and they also had 41-year-old Charlie Morton, who was actually really good.
Oh, sure.
Yeah.
They might be onto something down there.
Yeah.
They might be onto something in Hotlanta.
This dude was a horse. I mean, obviously he was throwing knuckleballs. But he averaged from his 40, 41, and 42 seasons, he averaged 208 innings a year from 15 to 17. Wow.
Call him up. Can he still throw?
Listen, hear me out, man.
Hear me out.
I've seen a lot of Travis Adams over the last couple of weeks.
Seen a lot of hear me out posts.
Actually, I don't think we've talked at all about Travis Adams. His second outing was actually fairly encouraging. If he can do that, like somewhat consistently, throw 4 innings, give up 2 runs, and just eat innings, he might have a big league role for a while.
His velo was good.
And if he can learn to throw a knuckleball, he could be the next R.A. Dickey.
We got Corey Lewis at home.
Yeah, there we go. X Factor, Greg's Factor. Okay, cool. Well, this was a fun little app here. 3 of 4 of the Podnanza. Episode 4 tomorrow. Everybody is going to be juicy. It's going to be a big fat gripes giving. Should we put a call out for some gripes from the listeners too?
Why not? Let's do a listener gripes.
Listeners, please contact us.
We'll see if we can get a Mrs. M list of gripes about Ol Gregg as well.
That's good. All right, everybody, send us your gripes, especially send them to Greg. He usually gathers the list there. So that should be a lot of fun. Anything else you guys want to say before we take off for the day here?
Yeah, I've got a gripe. You always forget the walk-off question.
Did we even do the walk-off? Okay, yeah. All right, everybody, let's go into our walk-off question. Which celebrity would you want to see in the next Celebrity All-Star game? I was underwhelmed by the roster this year, and I think what would make it better next year what did we say, Fenway? It's going to be Philly. It's going to be in Philadelphia. I want to see Danny DeVito playing in the celebrity softball game. Absolutely need it. What do you guys think?
I think the obvious answer is Salma Hayek. But if pressed on a more difficult answer, I would like to see Brock Lesnar swing a bat. I feel like he probably wouldn't make any contact. But I wonder if he's like the size of his body is restrictive in being able to get like a full swing off. I had a lifting coach at one point who, the guys who can't touch their shoulders because their arms are just too big. I would love to see Brock Lesnar try to swing a bat. And if he can swing a bat, I wonder how far that softball could go if he has any background in baseball, softball.
That could be fun. Cody, what do you think? Who's your celebrity you'd want to see?
The Costco guys.
We haven't seen those guys anywhere.
AJ Big Justice and the Rizzler. 5 big booms for when they hit their home runs.
Yeah.
Could Big Justice outswing the Rizzler?
Didn't we have an episode last year that was like, is Rocco Baldelli the Riz King?
Yeah, it's like the worst performing episode we've ever released. That was the best.
When we
discussed nothing.
When we posted that the next day, I got a message. It was literally, Cody, what is this? Somebody who listens to this show.
That's what it's all about. The worst performing episode until this one.
We've got to try, the whole search engine optimization and clickbait. We've got to try. We've got to try, see what happens. Maybe that could have been our best performing episode ever. And then we would have to title every single episode. Should the twins trade?
Should the Twins trade for the Costco guys at the trade deadline?
What did Livy have to say after Paul Skeen's loss?
Oh, man. All right. You're giving up all our ideas before the next episode. So be careful there. How about this? Let's land this plane. Thank you so much for listening to the episode 3 of the Podnanza, everybody. We are so grateful to have you here with us. We love having fun with you. So please pass this around. And until tomorrow's Grapes Giving, everybody, stay sweet.
I can hear the music now. Why?
It's the magic of editing, Cody.